There's something undeniably comforting about a bowl of warm, flavorful soup, especially when it's loaded with pillowy tortellini, tender vegetables, and a rich, savory broth. Tortellini soup is a beloved classic, cherished for its heartiness and simplicity, making it the perfect meal for busy weeknights or a cozy weekend dinner. Whether you're an experienced chef or a beginner in the kitchen, this deliciously easy tortellini soup recipe will show you just how effortless it can be to create a meal that feels like a warm hug in a bowl. Let's explore the steps, flavors, and techniques that make this dish truly special. Begin with the basics, the ingredients. At the heart of this soup is tortellini, those delightful ring-shaped pasta parcels stuffed with cheeses, or sometimes a medley of meats and herbs. The beauty of tortellini soup is its versatility. You can easily customize it to your tastes or dietary needs. For this recipe, let's choose cheese tortellini, found in the refrigerated section of most grocery stores, for their creamy texture and mild, crowd-pleasing flavor. Alongside the tortellini, gather a medley of fresh vegetables, diced onion, minced garlic, sliced carrots, and chopped celery, which together form the aromatic base known as mirepoix. Add to this a handful of fresh baby spinach or kale for a pop of color and nutrition. Don't forget the broth. A rich, flavorful chicken or vegetable broth is the backbone of this soup, infusing each bite with depth and warmth. For added heartiness, you might include a can of diced tomatoes, which lend a gentle acidity and a touch of sweetness to balance the dish. To season, reach for dried Italian herbs, basil, oregano, and thyme, plus a pinch of crushed red pepper flakes if you like a little heat. Now, let's start cooking. In a large soup pot or Dutch oven, heat a swirl of olive oil over medium heat. Once shimmering, add the diced onion, stirring until it becomes translucent and fragrant, about 3 to 5 minutes. Next, add the minced garlic, letting it sizzle just until its aroma fills the kitchen. Be careful not to let it burn. Toss in the carrots and celery, sautéing until they begin to soften, soaking up the flavors from the onion and garlic. At this stage, it's time to build the soup's body. Pour in the broth, followed by the diced tomatoes and their juices. Stir in the Italian herbs, salt, and pepper, adjusting the seasoning to taste. Bring the mixture to a gentle simmer, allowing the vegetables to cook through and the flavors to meld. About 10 to 15 minutes. This is the moment when the kitchen truly comes alive with the scent of comfort and anticipation. With the broth bubbling and the vegetables tender, it's time for the star ingredient, the tortellini. Add the pasta directly to the simmering soup, stirring gently to prevent sticking. Fresh or refrigerated tortellini cooks quickly, usually in about 5 minutes, so keep a close eye on the pot. You'll know the tortellini are ready when they float to the surface and have a pillowy, tender texture. Just before serving, stir in the fresh spinach or kale, letting the leaves wilt into the hot broth. This addition not only enhances the soup's nutritional value, but also adds a vibrant green contrast that's as pleasing to the eyes as it is to the palate. Taste the broth one last time and adjust the seasoning if needed. A little extra salt, a twist of black pepper, or a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese can elevate the flavors even further. The beauty of tortellini soup lies in its adaptability. If you're craving protein, consider adding coconut Italian sausage, shredded rotisserie chicken, or even white beans for a vegetarian boost. For a creamy variation, stir in a splash of heavy cream or half and half just before serving, transforming the broth into a velvety, luxurious base. And if you're feeding a crowd, this recipe doubles easily. Just be sure to use a pot large enough to accommodate the extra ingredients. Serving tortellini soup is as easy as ladling it into bowls and offering a sprinkle of freshly grated Parmesan, a drizzle of good olive oil, and a sprinkle of chopped fresh basil or parsley. Pair it with a slice of crusty bread or a simple green salad for a complete, satisfying meal. The soup's warmth and richness invite you to slow down and savor each bite, making even the simplest dinner feel like a special occasion. Beyond its delightful taste and aroma, tortellini soup offers a host of nutritional benefits. The combination of pasta, vegetables, and broth creates a balanced meal, providing carbohydrates for energy, fiber for digestion, and vitamins and minerals from the vegetables and greens. When made with a low-sodium broth and plenty of vegetables, it's a nourishing option that doesn't compromise on flavor. One of the greatest joys of making tortellini soup is how well it lends itself to improvisation. Don't be afraid to experiment with different vegetables. Zucchini, bell peppers, or mushrooms can all find a home in this versatile dish. If you have fresh herbs on hand, add them at the end for a burst of brightness. And for those who like a little more heat, a pinch of chili flakes or a spoonful of pesto stirred in just before serving can add a delightful twist. Leftovers are another bonus. Tortellini soup stores beautifully in the refrigerator for up to 3 days, making it an excellent option for meal prep or quick lunches. If you plan to store the soup, consider cooking the tortellini separately and adding them to each serving just before reheating. This prevents the pasta from becoming overly soft as it sits in the broth. For families, tortellini soup is especially popular because it appeals to both kids and adults. The small, cheesy pasta shapes are fun to eat, and the familiar flavors are comforting and approachable. It's an easy way to introduce more vegetables into meals, as the vibrant broth and tender pasta make even the pickiest eaters eager to dig in. On busy nights, tortellini soup is a lifesaver. With minimal prep and cook time, you can have a hearty, homemade meal on the table in under 30 minutes. It's the kind of recipe that encourages you to use what you have on hand, turning pantry staples and fridge finds into something truly satisfying. And when the weather turns chilly, nothing beats the feeling of wrapping your hands around a steaming bowl of this flavorful soup. For those looking to entertain, tortellini soup makes a wonderful starter for an Italian-inspired dinner party or a main course for a casual gathering with friends. Its rustic charm and crowd-pleasing flavors ensure it will be a hit with guests of all ages. Set out bowls of grated cheese, fresh herbs, and crusty bread, and let everyone customize their own serving. As you enjoy your homemade tortellini soup, take a moment to appreciate the simple pleasures it brings, the comforting aroma, the rich flavors, and the sense of satisfaction that comes from preparing a meal from scratch. Whether you're cooking for yourself, your family, or a gathering of friends, this easy recipe proves that delicious food doesn't have to be complicated. In summary, making tortellini soup is about more than just following a recipe. It's about embracing the joy of cooking, the comfort of familiar flavors, and the pleasure of sharing a meal with those you love. With just a handful of ingredients and a few simple steps, you can create a dish that's both nourishing and deeply satisfying. So the next time you're in need of a quick, delicious, and easy meal, remember this tortellini soup recipe. It's sure to become a favorite in your kitchen, bringing warmth and happiness to your table, one bowl at a time.